It's the biggest. It's the best. It's Bond. And beyond.
Welcome along to Rabbit and Snail's Film Talk, and we've got a special edition this time as we're looking at the greatest James Bond film, James Bond actor, James Bond villain, gadget and music. It's part of a special compilation from all of the Film Talk contributors. And Mark, let's start off with your favourite and best. May not be the same, but
yes.
James Bond actor.
Well, I mean, Roger Moore is my favourite. It's probably my age group, having watched him in the 70s in particular. So Roger Moore epitomises James Bond to me for that period of time, and for that reason and that reason alone, overall I will always regard him as my favourite James Bond. Best James Bond, that's a really tricky one. I think Daniel Craig is doing a fantastic job. And I really do like him as James Bond, and looking forward to the next one very much. And I love Sean Connery. I actually like Timothy Dalton and even George Lazenby.
I liked Lazenby in the role, although his voice was dubbed by George Baker for most of it.
And I like that film actually. I think it's a really good, underrated film. There's some very exciting scenes in that, and a great soundtrack as well. But
great direction from Peter Hunt, who was editor of many of the earlier
correct. Absolutely.
Bond movies.
Absolutely. So, best James Bond, I think it has to be Sean Connery.
I think a lot of people are going to say that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are definitely going to say that.
Yeah.
Roger is because it was the first I saw on the cinema screen.
Right.
I mean, I've seen Sean before that perhaps, but
yes,
to see at the cinema, Roger, I think most people kind of go with the first one they saw at the cinema.
I think that's the point really, and it is a hard one. If I'd not seen the Sean Connery ones, I probably definitely would have gone with Daniel Craig, and I do love him as James Bond. But I think overall I have to say the best one is probably Sean Connery.
I'd kind of go with that, but you know what? I'm saying I still like very much the Daniel Craig because he's the Bond of today.
Yes, exactly.
And he's right and relevant for this part of the 21st century. So,
yes, he's brought a lot to the part, definitely.
So it's not just recreating the old style Bond, but he's brought it into a new era and really kind of the Bond of the future.
Yes,
which is how this franchise has kept going.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the best Bond, but most interesting, or your favourite, or best villain, perhaps?
Yeah, well, I think I thought long and hard about this, and actually, interestingly, there's two of them. It's actually Ulrich Goldfinger.
Yeah.
And Oddjob.
And Oddjob.
Yeah.
Both in the same film.
Both in the same film. Just classic, great James Bond baddies. And I do regard the sort of the backup baddie, Oddjob, and there's a lot of them in the movies as well, that are actually more threatening sometimes than the actual sort of the megalomaniac. But I think that Goldfinger was the first of those sort of big, megalomaniac baddies, and I think that Oddjob for me was the first of the sort of those henchmen that was vicious and nasty, and it really left a lot, in my mind about what a baddies should be like.
And of course, there's been so many gadgets over the years in all of the Bond movies, and a Bond wouldn't be a Bond without some funny little gadget or other.
Yes.
Anything stick out as most notable, or
this is actually
most ludicrous?
Well, there's plenty of those. Actually, the invisible car was probably the weakest point.
Most disappointing.
Yes, exactly. This is a baddies gadget. I'm going to have to say it's Scaramanga's golden gun, which was actually a lighter and a pen that actually went together. And if I was going to have any gadget, and it was offered any gadget, I'd actually have that one, because it gave the impression that actually it would work as a gun as well. And I just love the way that Christopher Lee Scaramanga, and he's actually just got his pen and he's got his lighter with him because he's been searched for a gun, and he manages to put this together in front of him and shoot the baddie.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a really cool gadget.
And it's worth having because it's solid gold too, so
Yes,
it's probably worth a couple of quid.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we've looked at the best Bond, the best villain, the best gadget. So music.
Yeah.
Before we choose a favourite film, but best, most inspirational or moving or enjoyable music.
I love so many of the soundtracks and the music. Two songs that stand out to me in particular that I really struggle to choose between the two. I love Skyfall by Adele. I think that's a great song. Really is very good. But for me, it has to be Nobody Does It Better. From some Spy Who Loves Me. Because that's James Bond. Nobody does it better, and it's and that sums it up. It's a great song. Really, Carly Simon, Marvin Hamlish. I think he was the writer and composer, and it sums up James Bond to me. That particular song.
Well, and that may be a clue as to who you would choose as your favourite, or what you think is the best film overall from the series to date. I don't know what the answer is going to be, but what are some of the top runners, and then pick your winner? Well,
I think we mentioned on Emergency Secret Service. I think that's an excellent movie. I love From Russia with Love as well. I think that set the scene after Dr. No as to where James Bond was going, and I really enjoyed that. I love The Living Daylights with Timothy Dalton. I thought that's a great movie as well. And of course, I don't think Daniel Craig's done a bad one, to be honest. I think they've all been good. So really happy with that. But for me, it's becoming a bit of a cliche, but I would say Spy Who Loved Me is the one.
Watch out!
Within minutes, New York and Moscow will cease to exist.
It's an amazing movie. And, 1970, and the first one that Cubby Broccoli produced on his own, having the partnership with Harry Saltzman being dissolved because of Harry's financial problems.
Yes.
But a triumph for Cubby because it was huge.
Oh,
hugely successful.
Yes. I don't think they expected it to be quite as successful as it was. But you can see why, because it's a quality film, really good quality film. Great story as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great, thank you, Mark. So that's our overall summary of the James Bond franchise, of our favourite Bonds, the movies, the music, the gadgets and the villains. And it's a fantastic franchise, and really it's all terrific. But if you have to pick some favourites, as we've done, that's our contribution up for debate. But thank you for watching. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Be great to know what you think, so do leave some comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that little bell icon to get a notification every time we release a new video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.